did you watch the fight?
I really like you in flower shirts.
This is a Hawaiian shirt.
Or Hawaiian, right.
It's Hawaiian. If
Okay.
you say flower shirt and you're just listening and not actually looking at this beautiful shirt, I could just have a shirt on with like a bunch of daisies or maybe some roses, which I would do that too.
I was one of 75 people in America on Saturday night not watching the Manny Pacquiao fight.
Smelling the flower shirt. Smells good.
Hey, stop and smell the flowers.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Ed, you what was the fight on in the special ed household? Were you out gigging?
No. I debated. I had the opportunity to go to a buddy of mine's house. They were watching it. And I was just like, it was my first Saturday night off in the longest time. So I was like, you know what? I just crashed.
Right.
But after reading the Facebook and Twitter reviews afterwards, it sounds like I'm glad I didn't see it. This sounds like I didn't miss anything.
I'm a little torn on it. Now, I watched everything. I watched the undercard was actually really good. I enjoyed the undercard more than the actual fight. If you watch boxing,
with any bitches on the undercard, sometimes
There are
sorry,
no-
I mean, you know what? That's fucked up.
so if you're a female boxer, you're
that
a
is
bitch.
fucked up. That is fucked up.
What you're saying.
Because you deserve the respect. You know, that's bullshit. You're right.
And it's not that
You're right.
they deserve the respect. If we ever have a female boxer in, you are now known as the guy who calls female boxers bitches, and we're going to see how that plays out.
I didn't even mean it. That was for entertainment purposes only.
No,
By the way, if you're just grabbing this and you're like, why am I wearing this beautiful shirt? It's because we did have a bet this week
Why am I wearing this beautiful shirt?
that I was supposed to be Captain Lou Albano today because I lost the bet last
ladies!
week. So at some point next week, I guess I can be, if we can remember to bring the wig in, I can be Captain Lou Albano.
Why you look at me?
Fulfill
He's
that.
sitting right there.
Because you forgot to bring the wig in.
He didn't fucking remind me.
All right.
I didn't have to remind you to bring in a pound of butter for a bet. I didn't think I had to remind you for a wig. All right. Anyway, so I didn't see the fight. I
Well,
don't.
hang on.
I don't regret. Go ahead.
I didn't get to finish. All right. You just jump in there.
Just trying to get it back on track.
Both feet.
Hey, listen. This is not a show that needs to be pulled back on track every other segment.
I understand.
Does. It
You
does
just
all
cannonballed into the
time.
segment.
All the time. So, anyway, the fight itself, if you watch boxing, it wasn't a terrible boxing.
From what I read, it sounded like something I would enjoy.
Because it was just, now again, Mayweather, that's what he does. He's very defensive and he kind of dances around and, avoids getting hit. And there's a talent to that. There's a reason that he's undefeated.
This is boxing.
That's what boxing is.
This isn't fighting.
Right, it's not MMA.
Right.
But I think maybe as you sit and you look back and you go, where MMA has come. And MMA wasn't a really huge deal when Mike Tyson was fighting.
Oh, no, not at all.
So people didn't have, now Mike Tyson, there were some brutal knockouts and some things like that. So yes, if you're looking for a knockout, I don't think you should have been expecting a knockout going into this fight if you like boxing.
And the thing about Mike Tyson is he beat the shit out of people. That was a fight in there. He beat the shit out of you. And boxing, a lot of times, is boxing. There's pointing, there's defense to this thing.
Right.
And from what I read, again, I didn't watch it, but from what I read, it sounded like Mayweather just outboxed Pacquiao.
Right.
But in the age that we live in, and so many men, especially the younger demo men, have gravitated towards UFC because they like watching somebody get the shit kicked out of them. They want
a fight.
They want to hear and feel that when this is happening and blood starts to come. And boxing doesn't necessarily have to be that. And so for a lot of people, I think they just think it's boring.
Well, they said they danced around, which they did.
Is this the last time that we see this kind of money? A $300 million purse? The last he broke his own record. Mayweather's fight with Oscar De La Hoya in 2007, 2009, or something like that. I think this is the last time you see this kind of money. I think this is when everybody came forward for that one great fight we've been promised for the last almost 10 years, and then went, oh, God, because you're so used to MMA stuff now.
$168,000 a second. If they went 12 rounds, which they did, each, they were making $168,000 a second. So will we see a big fight like that? I think they'll try to put something together like that.
One more.
People aren't going to pay out for it.
One more. You know what it's going to be?
What?
And it's going to be that one guy in boxing, which probably won't be Mayweather. It'd be somebody younger, I would imagine.
Right.
And then that one guy in the UFC. They're going to try to put that together, and then that's when two worlds collide, and boxing will be done after that.
Well, it just depends on what you're talking about, because if you get a grappler from the UFC, Mayweather can only run so far in that ring. A grappler is going to grab him and pull him to the ground and break his arm. And that, I think it'd be a pretty quick fight, actually, because there's only so much. You see a little dancing around in UFC, but you don't see that kind of dancing around. If you get a grappler in there, Just picture somebody like Brock Lesnar going in and grabbing Mayweather. Now, Mayweather could take some shots, but I think Brock Lesnar can take a hit to the face. So if he grabs him and twists him up like a pretzel?
Well, I don't think what you're going to see is a boxer go over to the MMA side. That'd be stupid.
Right.
That would be absolutely stupid. You're going to see an MMA guy with a boxing background go, I'm ready to come back now.
And be a boxer?
Well, just for one, but just to show you that not only am I the greatest fighter in the world all around, but I will come into the boxing world, take away legs and grappling, and I will still beat you. Yeah, then we'll see another $300 million purse or something like that.
Well, but that could be great for boxing because then maybe that entices other guys to come in who are heavy hitters, and then that becomes, again, the Lennox Lewis's, the Mike Tyson's,
I think just boxing's about done. I think this was their last, that spurt of trying to come back and be relevant, and obviously they were for a second. But all the reviews out there, except for diehard boxing fans, was
This is another reason I'm a big pro wrestling fan, because you sit down and watch WrestleMania and you spend $70 or whatever, or $60.
You're getting your entertainment.
You're getting you know for a fact you are going to be entertained no matter what.
This is why I'm a big Celebrity Deathmatch fan.
Oh, me too. They're bringing it back.
Yeah, I know. I heard.
What?
Celebrity Deathmatch? Yeah.
Are they really?
Yeah. Remember the claymation and they beat the hell out of each other and like Britney Spears have her spinal column ripped out.
I'd rather pay $100 for that than from what I saw the clips on Saturday.
I promise I'm not paying $100 for claymation.
I get what everybody's saying about boxing, and I understand that's part of Floyd's strategy. But to me, that's not entertaining. It's not entertaining to see you dancing around the ring. You know, I want to see punches being thrown and landed and you know, going back and forth. I want to see Rocky type boxing.
Right,
you know?
Or Mike Tyson type boxing. That's what people got there in the late '80s, going in the '90s, because he just came in, bop, 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 and if he wasn't beating the shit out of you, he's tearing a chunk out. He was
Evander Holyfield losing half his ear in there.
There was an animal inside of him that he would just fucking let loose.
Right.
And we as animals love to watch that Tasmanian devil come out like that. You don't get that anymore in boxing, and it's just gonna go away, I think.
Well, I don't think it's gonna go away, but I don't think we're gonna see people, the casual boxing fan or the casual just fan of events will no longer put their money down. $100. I was at Corey Graves' house for the fight, and I loved it because it's just an opportunity for us to get together and hang out, you know, and you're having beers, and you're watching the fight, and this, that, and the other, but the amount of people and the amount of money that was spent on this fight, I don't see that happening ever again.
Well, still recapping the weekend, we were out at Yancey Street Comics on Saturday, and
that was awesome.
We were giving away Avengers tickets. Let me just tell you guys something real quick. I went and saw the Avengers on Sunday.
Right.
And?
Disappointed.
What?
That's the first I've heard of that.
Well, it was good. Don't get me wrong.
Can you do it in geek voice though?
Yes, it was good. It was entertaining. It was very anthropomorphic.
It's what?
Anthropic.
It's anthropic. I can't even fake that one. Don't worry about it. Keep going. Give you a review.
But anyway, I've come to the conclusion that I just don't think I want to see another sequel in the movie theaters. Avengers was so good for me. I loved the first Avengers. Loved it. I could watch that movie over and over again. And to watch this, it was good. Like I'm saying, it wasn't like it was crap.
Right.
But it just wasn't as good as the first one. So I think when you have that high...
Back to the Future 2, I think, broke that rule, though. Back to the Future 2 is fantastic.
No, where they go to the future and then come back and then go back to the past and then come back to the present and then go back to the future. That was all.
There's the synopsis of the entire series. Thank you. And Michael J. Fox was in there somewhere. It was fine.
Have you guys seen Avengers yet?
No.
The first one, yeah.
Well, no, the new one.
No.
Which now scares me because I'm a diehard Star Wars fan.
Right.
And I'm scared now for December when the new Star Wars movie comes out. I have a feeling I'm going to be let down.
Well, it depends. Listen, I think you would have to go into it realizing that it is probably not going to live up to your expectation, because it's something that even Star Wars, the original trilogy, when I think back to being a kid watching that, and I go back now and watch it, I'm like, man, it's really good. But my God, it's not what I thought it was.
No.
It's not this thing that, and I know for a lot of May the 4th be with you people that this is sacrilege, but if I go back and watch it now, I'm like, yeah, man, it's a good movie, and it brings back good memories.
And but you have to go back to that time period too, I think, for it to be as impactful. Like I don't think our kids are going to be able to watch the first Star Wars or number 4 and go, oh my God, and have their imaginations be blown, because that's what happened to a generation of Americans in Western culture.
Right.
Was their imaginations got blown into a different realm. We were able to build on.
Want to get that?
No, it's no collar.
And also, I mean, I want to go see this in the movie theater, but I was not going to go out on the first weekend. That's just, I'm too old for that shit. I didn't even like it when I wasn't too old for that shit.
Well, that's what we were worried about. We were worried about going when we were going to go, and we were actually thinking about going during the weekday, like one day that we're not doing the podcast or whatever, like trying to go during like the middle of the day because we have to bring Eddie because he really wanted to see it.
Right.
So we took a chance. We said Sunday we went to the busiest theater in Pinellas County. We went to the AMC Woodlands, which is, I mean, seriously, every day you go there, it's like lines out to the parking lot. We went there yesterday afternoon. It wasn't that bad. We got there about 25 minutes early, and we got great seats. It did fill up, but it wasn't like I thought it was going to be probably what it was on Friday and Saturday night. You know what I mean?
Right. Jurassic Park, I'm looking forward to. The new Jurassic Park that's coming out. Those trailers look ridiculous. So I'm not. Listen, I know a lot of people beat down the sequels and sequels of sequels, and there's a lot of times you're absolutely right.
And I'm one of those.
I mean, Sleepaway Camp 2 was total horseshit compared to Sleepaway Camp 1.
Well, it's
a B-horror movie.
What bothers me is just it's a business decision. It's not a creative decision. It's, hey, when we go into this, we want to invest this kind of money, not to just see if we can get our return in one movie, but can we turn this into at least 3 movies to get our money back and then tie it into their franchising stuff and Burger King and whatnot. So that gets annoyingly frustrating to just see something that's formulaic but familiar.
Right.
And they just put it out there, and we go, oh, it was okay. It wasn't too bad.
Transformers should have stopped at the first one.
Oh, that started giving me seizures going to see that fucking thing.
The first one?
No, the first one I really liked.
The first one was great.
Either the second or third, I was just sitting there going, what the
so
fuck?
Fast. It's so fast.
Constantly.
Well, you know where your philosophy is getting thrown out the window, though?
That was Corky Transformer.
You know where your philosophy is getting thrown out the window, though? When you're sitting here, you're talking about how they're doing it more for a business than a creative standpoint, is Mall Cop 2 that just came out. Like, that was more for the creative aspect.
It surely is, man. Surely
Paul Blart 2. That was needed.
Goes to Vegas.
Cage in the digital age. Awesome. Like them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube /Fisher and Cage.